back to Bearcat Update, and time for our weekly interview segment. Tony Boss, Northwest Missourian sports editor. We're keeping it in-house a little bit this week. Fellow of the student media. Tony, how you doing?
Great. How are you, man?
Not too bad. Hanging in there, getting through classes. So, just starting out. What's your job entail as sports editor for the Northwest Missourian?
Well, obviously, in this community, there's a lot of sports going on. We cover, as the Missourian, we cover both Maryville High School and Northwest. Specifically, all the varsity sports, our major sports, football, basketball. I'm in charge of basically controlling content on 4 pages, weekly pages, anywhere from high school updates, Northwest updates, feature packages, and even a couple columns and opinion sections.
Really? So, you're controlling content on 4 pages. How much of that is you, and how much of that's the rest of your staff?
Well, right now it's a lot of it's on me, but I also have to give it to a lot of the other editors and staff. They definitely do chip in and help out. Right now I have 4 practicum students writing under me. They get anywhere between 2 to 3 weekly assignments, and they'll go out in the community and talk to coaches, talk to players, go to games, even take stats, and they'll bring in a story or two, and we'll post either web or print. And then I also have a chief sports reporter for me right now, who's also been on staff for the last couple of years. So he knows his way around campus, and he knows his way around Maryville. So he's definitely been a help to me.
Now you travel to a lot of these, not just Northwest sports, but Maryville sporting events. How tough is that to be able to get someone out to a Maryville football game one night when it's not home, but then all of a sudden, like last weekend, you had to go to Omaha for the Northwest football game right after that?
That responsibility falls on me right now. Being a little short in staff, I go, like you said, I'll go out on a Friday night, go cover Maryville game. Could be 30 minutes down the road down in St. Joe, or it could be an hour and a half away in Lawson. That's just kind of part of the game and part of the job. And to be quite honest, I actually love it. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. You get to experience a lot of different atmospheres. Each high school has its own little things, and very unique. As far as unique experiences with the stadiums, with staff, coaching and players, and you see a lot of different, a lot of unique plays. But like you said, went to Omaha this weekend, so it's just it's part of the job really, and I can't say I dislike it. It has its advantages and disadvantages, but you know what, it's great. It's a great experience, and I enjoy it.
And you know what? You talked about going to those high school games, and you go to a lot of different stadiums, not just Northwest. Go to all the MIAA conferences, but getting out to some of those high schools, it's fun to see how it differs when you go from city to city and how good each team is. But as far as your job goes, there has to be some perks to it. What about your job do you enjoy the most?
The thing I enjoy most about my job, honestly, probably has to be working with players and coaches. I get paid to go watch sports. I think that's been my dream job since I can remember. In high school, that's when I really sat down and thought, what do I want to do for a career? It was just natural to write about sports. And so working with coaches, especially the Northwest coaches, especially Maryville coaches, the AD over there, Paul Snow, he's my best friend when it comes to he'll do anything to get me in touch with a player or a coach, and some of the best memories so far is just getting to know athletes, being able to see him in the union, see him out in town, and just be able to say, I know something about that player that most people don't know, and that's what's fun. That's I get to present that in a story form, and inform a lot of people, and that's the best thing is whenever you get to see somebody. Read your article or read your work and come up to you and say, hey, I didn't know that about somebody. I want to see more things like that. And just for example, Churchma, he's got an open door policy. If he's not busy, he'll sit down and have 5-10 minute conversations with me. Can answer questions from anything about players to coaches to even his personal life experiences. That means a lot, especially when I got to make a deadline or I have to. I'm trying to get just a little bit more information from somebody more more qualified to present that information.
Yeah, and, Coach Scherschma was a great guy to talk to. Did you know he was a Johnny Unitas fan growing up?
I didn't know that.
He's a Johnny Unitas fan.
Didn't know that.
Colts guy. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but as far as coach or player that you've interviewed across the board, who's your favorite?
Well, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of players. I've talked to Sean Paddock. I've talked to Miles Burnsides, Willie Horn, Blake Bowles. Even going to the high school, I've talked to, I did a story on all the seniors last year for the volleyball team. They had 11 seniors, and that was a lot of fun. And, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna go with Willie Horn. Willie Horn, he's from the same area I'm, Lee Summit, Blue Springs area. Got to play a little bit against him in high school, and he's been great to work with this year. He's having an outstanding senior season. He's very open and he's very easy to work with, and it's great because I get to sit down with him, have a nice formal interview, and then afterwards I can turn the recorder off and I can have a just regular conversation with the guy, and we can talk about Lee Summit, we can talk about Blue Springs South and guys from the area, and we can talk about how much we hate rockers. That's great, and that's what I love. And if I had to pick somebody outside of the Maryville area, last year I got to talk with both Willie Bloomquist, Alex Gordon, and Willie Wilson over at Hy-Vee when the fan caravan came through, and got to talk with those three, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat getting to see from their perspective. And Willie Wilson was just class act, and Willie Bloomquist was also a nice guy, and Alex has got a bright future ahead of him, and it was great to really see him, and get to talk with him.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. We appreciate you coming on, and you know what? You're gonna come back for a segment right after this. You're gonna be on for Face Off, but you can read anything Tony Botts writes, Northwest Missourian sports editor. Appreciate you coming on, and I guess we'll see you again for commercial break.
Thanks, man.
We'll be back with more after this.